All right, traders. Before I get into the watch list video for Wednesday, February 20th, the reason I'm starting with this PTX chart is just because I saw it today, clicking around, and to me, it's just such a good lesson. This is such a reminder to me of how I used to just blindly trade, right? I can imagine, and I haven't traded this in forever. I don't know if I've ever traded, but I can imagine when it was putting in this run from $1.20 to 220. I can imagine seeing this volume, finding a way in, and saying, you know what? People on Twitter are saying it's going to 4, 5, 10, whatever they were saying. I'm just going to buy as much as I can, anywhere on this day, and hold on. Because if I can double my account in a couple days or wherever, it's going to run to 4, whatever you're reading on social media, right? My wife's going to be so proud of me when I tell her I doubled my account in 1 week. I mean, I literally used to think like this, right? And then the next day, well, it's holding up okay, maybe I'll buy more. Now I'm close to margin, and then, oh crap. Well, this is great because now I can average in. If it gets below $1, maybe I can buy a bunch more. My average will be, the thinking, right? And then, boom. So when I saw this chart today, I was thinking to myself, I think I even said it in chat, back in the day, I would have been stuck in this, probably with my entire account. Or not necessarily, but this is an example of my thinking and how I used to just be winging it and holding and hoping and everything that we talk about, right? So I see a chart like this, and actually, I know with 15 million shares traded, or almost 15 million just 4 sessions ago, I promise you there's a bunch of newer traders still stuck in this. And maybe saying, you know what, it's going to come back, I'm going to buy more. And, just like that, your potential future trading career is over or on hold for several years. So when I see this, I always tell myself, I'm going to say a couple words about it because I remember what it used to be like. I feel terrible for anybody who's in it, but this is exactly why I start every day with a process now. You guys in chat know exactly what my process is. Starting with a gap play watch list plus an overnight watch list, and then only trading when I get an A+ setup on an intraday basis, scaling out into strength, tightening up the stop on the rest, and then getting back to cash before the close. And I even tweeted something like, when you're nervous before the open, it's your brain telling you that you're still prone to winging it. So if you're to the point in your trading career when you log in the morning, getting ready, the market's getting ready to open, and you're not nervous, you're calm, that means you're very close to having turned the corner and getting all this crap behind you, right? That means you trust yourself. And that's a huge step. That's a huge step. And I was never calm before the open when I was winging it because I literally would start each day not having any clue what I was getting ready to do, right? So you got to have a process. You got to, watch your position size. You got to size up every trade, figure out where your stop is, look at how it's trading on the day, and then quickly figure out how much you're risking if you take this many shares and quickly adjust your position size so it's within your loss parameters. All right, there's my little mini lecture for the day. A couple charts from the day for those of you that didn't make it into chat today. Overstock, very whippy early on, but then gave this nice clean flag, and I called this long, basically over this lower high, right? It put in a high, then it put in a lower high, which I believe was 21.35. So I called it long at 21.36. The thinking was if it takes out this lower high, it's holding up really well. The high of day is still above as another catalyst. And you can see it really took off pretty quickly right after that trigger. And ended up being a nice one. So Overstock actually, as I go over the watch list for tomorrow, it will be on there. But I wanted to highlight how crazy it was to trade early if you tried it, but how it calmed down and gave a nice low-risk setup, right? That's everything we look for. So also want to give a hats off to Kevin P., who called Riot. It was on our morning gap playlist. It did exactly what we look for. Inside 2's high of day above, hole number 3 just above that for a potential whole number inflection point catalyst. And you can see there was probably about a dime risk getting long on the high of day, and it went up over $1 on a dime risk. And again, if you're not using our hot script feature where you're putting some of the best traders and the best people that are good at spotting the setups, if you're not putting them on your hot script list, remember that hot script allows you to put members that you want to follow actually in a separate chat window and set up your hot script to give you an audible alert when anybody on, I'll just call it your hot list, when everybody or anybody on your hot list posts something, you get an audible alert, right? So it makes the chat room a really good scanner in and of itself. And if Kevin P isn't on your hot list, you're doing it wrong, all right? One last thing to show, just to prove the old recent high flyer that had a nice looking daily chart. Keep in mind, this had this big pop back here, it pulled into the 8. This is the daily right here. And at the time was curling up nicely. It ended up closing kind of ugly today, but look at this. Opened right at 13. We identified that. Wayne, I think it was about here, maybe starting up right here when Wayne said, hey, I like this through 13. You've got the high of day above as another catalyst. It's a recent high flyer. It ripped like 4 days ago, and there was a big seller on the tape at 13. Everything we look for. I took a screenshot of what I made on that, just getting long right there at 13, and it went up a quick 50 cents. Nice little trade, great heads up by Wayne. And again, if Wayne is not on your hot script, you're doing it wrong. All right, so anyway, great teamwork as always. What am I watching tomorrow? XNet. I'm pretty sure traders were just saying, hey, what are the old baby crypto plays, because Bitcoin was strong, right? And so that's where I'm pretty sure the volume came from on XNet. It closed pretty strong, topped out at 415. If it opens around the whole number 4 tomorrow, we might be able to use 4 as an inflection point. Really nice volume. And the fact that it's closed strong lands it back on my watch list. PYX, I still don't love this because it really gave us some nice trades, but you have this kind of shooting star looking candle from Friday. It did hold up pretty well though. So I don't know, back over today's high, which was 25.25, which is also a quarter. That should mean something to you guys, right? Whole numbers, half number, quarter numbers can be pretty relevant as in day trading. So I am going to put this on watch. To me, it's still kind of far from the moving averages, and I don't like, I don't like Friday's candle. Some of you might say, well, Friday's candle could be to our advantage if this gets going again, because you might have more shorts trapped, and I really wouldn't argue with that either. SKYS, this is a weird stock, but it did gap up and closed pretty close to where it opened, so you could argue kind of held the gap up, so I'm going to watch it. Overstock, I already mentioned this one, but you kind of have a little cup and handle here, and then you could argue today is day one, big volume, day one of the little cup and handle breakout. Maybe that 200 day is in its sights, so I do want to watch Overstock again tomorrow. MX, nice volume for this stock. This stock usually doesn't hit 1 million shares a day, so keep that in mind. But you also have the 200-day above on this one too. Could be a target. It closed really strong, so I'm going to keep my eyes on that one. IDEX, also a pop, kind of like XNet, a pop out of a base, but this one well off of its highs. Still going to keep it on watch. SPN, nice breakout. I believe this was on earnings. Nice volume, closed pretty strong. Maybe a follow-through day tomorrow. PTI, I still like this one. It popped back here, which was about a week ago, to 444, pulled back, and then popped, and it's kind of chopping along sideways here. It's interesting, over 425. Maybe then it takes out this high, and it's off to the races. FUV, that electric vehicle thing, I don't know what you call it. It didn't look like a car, but it looked like a golf cart. But anyway, huge move on Thursday, quiet day on Friday. Well, I don't know about quiet, but quieter than Thursday certainly, and today closed above its open but topped out at 540. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet today. I tried to get, I go to 5-minute candles. I tried to get 4,000 shares. There's your opening 5-minute candle sold out. As it was coming back up, Solo was ripping, so I put out a limit of 480, kind of as it's taken out the high of day, and I got filled 1 share out of 4,000. 1 share. And actually my limit was 80. My 1 share filled at 475 to show you how squinky that thing was. So I didn't get filled anything from 475 to 480, and then it quickly ripped to 5. So that was, I don't know that I've ever gotten filled just 1 share of anything, but no, it's kind of funny, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to watch this one again tomorrow. Let me glance at Solo. I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion on that one. And then Haynes, HPI, had this nice pop and flagging along. Again, possible whole number inflection point through 19. A really nice pop here and a nice flag right below the whole number. This one's been on watch for several days. No trades in it yet, but it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. So I'm going to leave it at that. We'll add some morning gappers to this list. Not really in love with this list, but between this and the morning gappers, if we can just find one or two good setups, our day can be made, right? All right, I'm done babbling. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.